For UFC 303, Underdog Fantasy will not only give you free money, but they're going to give you a free square for your entry. They're giving you Alex Pereira at a half of a strike. If that guy lands one single punch, kick, or even a dirty look, you will go ahead and get yourself paid. In order to get that free money, the only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $20, they'll give you $20. If you give them $100, they will give you $100 instantly that you can use to build your own entry. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you my Underdog Fantasy entry for UFC 303. I've already built an entry. Long before I recorded this video, I went in here and I built an entry. I used that Alex Pereira free square. That is why I don't see it anymore. You can't use it more than once. So I will caution you. Use that square, take the Alex Pereira half of a significant strike, add it with another line that you are insanely confident with, whether it's MMA or another sport, and be done with it. Max out the bet, whether it's $10 or $50, whatever it is, max it out, and then build a second entry with other legs that you like. Hopefully that makes sense to you, because what you don't want to do is build a 5-slot entry. You get the free one with Alex Pereira, and then you lose because of something later down the line. Take the free square, match it up with something else that you're very confident in, and then put that aside and build a second entry that is entirely different. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go here to the pick'em so you can see my Alex Pereira free square is right here. I got the half of a strike, and that's why it's gone on my screen. On your screen, you will have it. So let's go back to Pick'em, and we'll go over to MMA for our sport, and we'll build a new entry. So let's assume we have the Alex Pereira one put to bed. I am filming this early. This is before they have dropped the rest of these lines. Every one of these fights is going to have takedowns. It's going to have significant strikes. All of the fights are probably going to have win by finish, don't win by finish. So we can build another entry later, but what I wanted to do here, there were some lines that I liked. So I didn't want to wait for everything to come out and then miss the boat on these lines that move. These are dynamic. They do move. As things come in, stuff goes up or down. We are going to grab the higher than Ricky Simón on the takedown line. Win or lose, I think Ricky Simón is going to get the takedowns. He's getting takedowns in every single one of his fights. He's a guy that will be 100% determined to get a fight to the ground. He's fighting Vinicius Oliveira, who can be taken down. He was taken down 3 times in his last fight. Vinicius came back and won that fight by finish, but he was still taken down 3 times to get to that point. Ricky Simón is a much better wrestler and a much more aggressive wrestler than Vinicius' last opponent. I think Ricky Simón comes in here, wrestles heavy, win or lose, gets at least 4 takedowns. The other line that I love here is the 45.5 significant strikes for Mayra Bueno Silva. I think Mayra Bueno Silva is going to lose this fight, but I also think she's going to get past this number. If you go through her fight history, she gets past this number in basically every decision she's ever been in. The only time she doesn't get past this number is when she blows somebody out and finishes them early, and I don't think that's going to happen here. I think Mayra Bueno Silva comes in here, gets held against the cage. I think it's a sloppy back and forth with a good amount of grappling. But even with the grappling in the mix, I think she gets past this number. So more than 45.5 significant strikes is something that I am fairly confident in. What I don't love are some of these other lines. Charles Jourdain is fighting a very good striker. We cannot count on Charles Jourdain to land as many strikes as he needs to win this fight, because, again, he's fighting a very good striker. Andre Fili is one of the chinniest dudes in that division. You can't trust him to get to any number. Roman Dolidze, this is a low number. But Roman Dolidze coming up in weight on short notice. Phenomenal grappler, powerful hands, too many questions to really nail something down there. The Martin Buday, 66.5 significant strikes. I like the lower there. I think Martin Buday is either going to finish Andrei Arlovski early, because that guy is 45 years old, or if the fight does go long, Martin Buday is not going to be a crazy high volume guy. What will likely happen is they're at distance, pitter-pattering, and Andrei Arlovski will probably get a little bit of cage control. In either of those scenarios, Martin finishing Andre early or winning a decision, I don't think he gets past 66.5 significant strikes. If you work through his fight history, that's not a number he just blows past. He's not like this insanely high volume striker who's not dangerous. That's when a number like that would make sense. He is dangerous. He's not crazy volume, and he's fighting a 45-year-old man. I am pretty sure the lower on this is comfortable. And then the Diego Lopes, 40 significant strikes. I like the higher on that. And you may say, Angelo, that's crazy. He's fighting Brian Ortega. Angelo, don't you think Diego Lopes wins? I do think he wins. I think it's an absolute showcase fight. I think he could potentially finish Brian Ortega. But Diego Lopes lands at insane volume. He finished Sadiq Youssef in the first round of his last fight, and he landed 25 significant strikes. And that was early. We're talking about a minute something into that fight. He's fighting Brian Ortega, one of the toughest, grittiest, never give up guys in the division. If Diego Lopes is landing more than half of this number in a minute and a half, he's going to blow past it in a fight with somebody as durable and dynamic as Brian Ortega. I think Diego Lopes cruises past 40 and a half significant strikes. These are the lines that I like. When they start to add more, we may update. We may add more. Make sure you check the website. But for now, I didn't want to pass up or miss out on the Diego Lopes line, miss out on the Myra line, or the Martin Budai line. Let's work our way through here again. I'm going to throw 20 bucks at this for $120. If I get all four of these correctly, the payout is $120. And that is the flex payout. That is if one of these goes wrong. But if we do the full-blown, I'm 100% confident, 20 bucks gets us 200. That is 10x. If we add another line here, then that goes to 20x. I'm not going to add another line, but if you wanted to, if there's one that makes sense for you, go for it. So let's go ahead and walk through this entry one more time. We have Ricky Simone higher than 3 takedowns. Mayra Bueno Silva higher than 45.5 significant strikes. Martin Budai lower than 66.5 significant strikes. And Diego Lopes higher than 40. Don't forget about that very free Alex Pereira square. I would take the Alex Pereira one personally, pair that up with the Diego Lopes one, make that its own entry, and then build an entirely separate entry with the rest of these. The most important thing, though, is go get your free money, whether you like this entry or not. Go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and get the free money.